I've been skinny all my life. No matter what I did, how hard I trained, I could generally never see muscle. And until I implemented these three exact things, I just stayed skinny. So in this video, I want to break down to you the exact three things that I used to build my dream physique, to get in the best shape of my life and actually become jacked. But before we do that, check out the link in the description to get a free lean bulking course. But first, let's start with step one. As I remember being on my bulking journey, trying to eat about 3,300 calories each day. And one day I was sitting in my kitchen, it was about 7, 8 o'clock at night, and I still had about 1,000 calories to go. And the thing is, this was about every day of the week. Every night I had about 1,000 calories to go, and I'd have to sit there at night and eat 1,000 calories. And the thing is, after you've ate so many meals, you're stuffed and you don't actually want to eat 1,000 more. So most of the time I'd miss out, I'd skip it, and I wouldn't actually eat the amount of calories I needed to eat. And this was the first reason I generally stayed skinny. It was all because I didn't actually do what I was said I was going to do. I had this plan, okay, I need to eat 3,300 calories today. But I never actually did it. I never stuck to my diet. I never truly bulked and actually did it consistently 7 days a week. And this all happened because I didn't have the correct schedule. I wasn't actually doing the correct things. As I'd wake up, I wouldn't usually eat because I didn't feel very hungry. I'd go throughout my day, I'd go to the gym, do all these different stuff. I would hardly eat. Then it would start to get about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and I'd be like, oh wait, I'm bulking. I've actually got to eat food. So then I'd start eating as much food as I could. I'd have dinner, I'd have desserts, I'd have cookies, I'd have anything I could fit in. But the problem was I could never eat like 3,000 calories by the end of the day. I still had so many calories to go. But when I actually started doing it correctly and I had a schedule, I had the right meals to eat every day, I started to see progress. What I started to do is I actually had a plan of what meals I eat at what time. So I knew for breakfast, I'd wake up, I'd eat 6 eggs, I'd eat a bowl of porridge, and maybe I'd have some honey, some blueberries, different stuff, maybe a protein shake. But I'd have my schedule for breakfast, and for lunch each day, it was always like chicken and rice, maybe mince and sweet potato, just different meals like that. And for dinner, maybe I was having chicken, pizza, whatever I was having. But I had this plan and I separated where I was eating about 800 to 1,000 calories per meal. And then throughout my day, I could snack on things like nuts, peanut butter, all this different stuff, which would give me that extra calorie boost. And when I had this plan and I was sticking to it, where I woke up in the morning, I ate my first meal, I ate my breakfast. Even though I wasn't very hungry, I was committed to this bulking. I wanted to actually gain the size. So I ate my first meal. Then at lunch, I'd always eat my second meal. It was this plan that I stuck to day in, day out, every single day. And the first 2 weeks of doing this, of having this idea and doing this plan, it was really difficult. It felt just like a struggle to force myself to eat these different meals, to eat the 6 eggs in the morning. But after 1 week, 2 weeks of doing this, it became automatic. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd eat my 6 eggs. Then at lunchtime, at 12 o'clock, I'd already feel the hunger and I'd eat my chicken and rice. At dinner, I'd always eat how many calories I was meant to eat. I started to make it automatic, like the schedule that I stuck to every single day to achieve the calories that I needed, to actually get the goals that I needed to get to. So this is what I think you should do too, as if you want to stop being skinny, to actually gain muscle and bulk up, one of the main parts of it is your diet. It's eating the right amount of foods for the right amount of calories. And you can't do this if you don't plan, if you don't schedule, if you don't actually know how many calories you're eating. As you don't have to go around, scan every barcode, track every meal, but instead you can have a rough idea. You can plan your meals, know what you're eating, and know roughly how many calories that is. And if you can do that, then you can actually start to bulk up and you start to gain size and get into good shape. And if you want extra help with that, in the link in the description of this video, there's a free lean bulking course where I cover everything I could think of. Then we come to step 2. This is like your make or break of building muscle. If you can't do this, you're never gonna actually get jacked and get in good shape. As I remember probably about a year ago, I was trying to get bigger again. I was trying to get more muscle. And at the same time, I was trying to get good at boxing. So each day my schedule looked like I'd wake up, usually I'd try run in the morning, then I'd go to the gym, I'd lift weights later in the day, and in the evening I'd have a boxing class. And the thing is, when I did all of this at once, it felt cool, it felt like a grind set. I was doing this David Goggins type of stuff. But the massive problem I faced, what wasn't working for me, is I wasn't actually progressing. As I'd do the weight session, and then when I went to boxing, my shoulders ached, my body ached, and I couldn't do boxing properly. Then the next day I'd wake up and I'd try my weight session, and because my shoulders ached so much the day before, I didn't recover and I couldn't do the weight session. So neither boxing nor weightlifting was working and was getting better. Instead, I was sort of staying neutral at all of them. So this is where the step 2 of like commitment, of actually being stuck to one specific goal comes in. As what I did wrong is I had 2 goals at once. I wanted to be really good at boxing and be a tall fighter, but I also wanted to be in amazing shape. But the thing is, you've got to actually pick one thing at a time. Like you can get really good at boxing, but you can't really get an amazing, like you can't get loads of muscle at the exact same time. But if you commit 100% to getting really good at boxing, then once you've done that, you can go to your next goal and get in amazing shape. That's more how you've got to do it. You've got to go from one goal to the next. You can't achieve multiple things at once. And once I realized this, I've realized I have to actually pick one specific goal. I have to have one thing I'm committed to. And for me at the time, that was bench press. That was getting about 100 kg bench press. As it was just a goal I wanted to achieve. I thought if I get this goal, I'm going to be strong, muscular. I'm going to achieve a good goal that I want. And that's the same with you. If you're doing multiple things at once, like maybe you want to get really jacked in the gym, you want to get 100 kg bench press, but you also want to run a marathon, and you also want to do a CrossFit competition, and you also want to join jiu-jitsu class. It's actually not going to work. You're not going to see progress in anything. Instead, you just need one specific goal. And for me right now my goal is I just want to grow my arms. I want to have like massive, really big arms. And I also do want to do things like jiu-jitsu, calisthenics, but I know if I pursue all these at once, I won't achieve anything. But if I pursue this one specific goal of growing my arms, of having bigger arms than before, I'll actually start to see progress. And once I've got the arms the size that I want them to be, then I can go on to jiu-jitsu, then I can go on to calisthenics. But you have to go through one goal at a time. You can't try and achieve multiple things at once. And that's what I want you to understand with the second step. Once you have this one goal and you're specific to achieving this goal, you can commit 100% to it. Like say your goal is to bulk up to 80 kg. That's your one specific goal. It's not to do boxing, running, none of it. It's just to bulk up to 80 kg. You can put 100% focus into this goal. So you can do the right amount of cardio where you walk about, but you don't do a lot of running, you don't do a lot of sprinting where you burn a lot of calories. Instead, you just do walking cardio. You eat the right meals at the right time. When you wake up, you eat your first meal. When you have lunch, instead of going for a run and doing a training session, you have your lunch. You eat your dinner. You go to the gym just once per day doing specific workout to help you bulk up. You can follow a specific strategy for that one goal. And when you're committed, you're following the plan, the strategy, you get to the goal so much faster than you would if you had 10 goals at once and you're trying to achieve them all. So following one specific goal at a time and committing 100% to that goal and chasing it, trying to achieve it, that's the second thing that you need to do. And this saw me so much progress, and it still does to this day. When I have one goal, I'm trying to achieve one thing, I become so good at that one thing. It's obvious, just all my focus, all my energy, all my time goes into that one specific thing. Step 3, this is the most necessary thing we need to building muscle. As we've probably all experienced a lot in our lives, where we've had a bad night's sleep, we feel really tired, we've gone to the gym. When we go to the gym, it's just like a dead session. You're not lifting heavy weights, you're not trying very hard, you're sort of going through the motions. We've all experienced that at least once in our life. And the thing is with this is actually the problem. It's not this one specific session here where we're tired and we're not training hard. Instead, it's if we have multiple of these. If we have multiple nights of bad sleep where we don't rest and recover properly, then we go to the gym. If we do this for an entire week, we just don't have good sessions. We don't see progress in the gym. As recovery is such an important tool that we need to utilize. As one, it gives you energy. It gives you it makes you want to go to the gym. When you feel energy, when you feel hyped, you want to go to the gym. So recovering properly, you can train hard in the gym, you want to go to it. But as well as this, when we sleep, when we recover, this is actually where we grow muscle. As when we go to the gym and we go work out, the goal is to tear our muscles down, to cause micro tears within our muscles. We break our muscles down, we actually make them smaller. But when we recover, when we rest, when we eat a good diet, have high protein, they grow back, and they grow back bigger than before. But the big part of this is we have to sleep, we have to rest, as that's where they grow, when we're sleeping. So if we're sleeping 4 hours a night, you know what I mean? You're going on your video game, you're watching your phone, and when you go to sleep for a couple hours, when you wake up, you're not seeing any progress. You're not actually going to be able to gain muscle faster. But when you're getting your 8-9 hours, however long you need, sleep where you feel rejuvenated, you feel fresh, you feel alive after it, that's where you start to see progress, where you start to see muscle, where you can actually recover properly and you can show up to each session. So the first step is all about sleep, it's all about recovery. It's all about making sure your body actually gets the rest we need. As it's like super cool to have this David Goggins mindset, training hard, running twice a day, going to the gym, pushing yourself to failure. But if you don't rest, if you don't recover, it's all useless. As all the work we put into the gym, all the work we put into progressively overloading, going to failure, lifting weights, none of it actually matters. None of it means anything at all if we don't do the simple thing of sleep, rest, recover. As that's where we see the that's where we see any effort. And if you want to learn how to better your sleep, to sleep better, to have more rejuvenating sleep, where your muscles can grow more during the night, then click this video here where I break down how you can make your sleep better and improve it.